Today's gospel is troubling. Read as a metaphysical parable, Jesus seems to be confirming that fire and brimstone are real. Polemicists often turn to parables such as these to prove that, come harvest time, the wheat and the chaff will be divided, and the gospel truth is, for these wicked weeds, some very bad news. However, taking a wide-angle view of Jesus' speech, tarrying with the under-interrogated aspects of his parabolic lesson, and considering alternate takeaways from these parables, yes, parables plural, the wheat and the weeds being just one analogy Jesus uses to make his point, will be both theologically useful and spiritually comforting. Rather than being a statement on certainty, heaven awaits the true believer and hell is certainly for the sinful, what if Jesus' lesson is about patience and the discomfort of waiting, especially waiting when we are uncertain about what the future holds? To get at Jesus' parables, I'd like to detour through one anecdote of my own. Once, my sister-in-law was tasked with weeding her father's garden as a child. She ended up pulling up whole plants along with a few weeds. How often has an honest mistake gotten us into a problem that was bigger than the one we set out to fix? In Jesus' parable, the landowner instructs his workers to let the weeds grow alongside the good plants until harvest time. If we weed out the suspected weeds too early, we might uproot our good crop too. Interesting advice from the master gardener. Just wait. Uncomfortable advice for sure. Live amongst the weeds for now. As an amateur gardener myself, this advice is discomforting and pointed. Don't act prematurely. Jesus seems to counsel, God's grace-filled activity will guide us in due time. A second parable in this sequence often goes unnoticed, overshadowed by those pesky weeds. He spoke to them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of wheat flour until a whole batch was leavened. Reading the 2 parables in sequence, a different message comes into focus. It is simple, but it is also uncomfortable. Wait. Just wait. Don't go pulling weeds willy-nilly. Don't go rushing your harvest or messing with your baking. By God's grace, the yeast will rise and the plants will grow. Leave the judgment to God, whose time is not our own.